So today I'm making a cake. What a surprise. And yes, it's a box cake. Next week I'll probably make an actual cake. But I'm working on my tripod skills, so hey. And I'm very good at cooking. Gotta preheat your oven to 350 and then get your ingredients out. So I have my 3 eggs, my water, and my vegetable oil. And my baking pan and my cooking spray. So now I'm going to get a bowl, and if I can find it, my measuring cup. So first you're going to mix your, and I need a whisk. Whisk. It says that you can use a hand blender, but mine's really hard to clean up, and this is much easier to clean up, so I will be using a whisk. First, you gotta mix this thingamabobs together. And this cake mix should already be okay. They stapled it. I have to get my scissors out. So I usually just use whatever scissors I have in the house. I don't know what these were used for last, hopefully not chicken guts. So I'll try to get as little cut as possible and use my cleaning hands. Get the rest of the cake mix out so as not to contaminate any cake mix that I might have touched. And just dump it in. So as you can tell, it's stapled because I have a family of 4, not a family of 8 million. So this is too much cake for a family of 4. Well, it's too much that they should eat. We usually eat the entire thing, but we're trying to stay healthy. Okay, cake mix in. Next, we're gonna put our water in. And for this, you need half, looks like the recipe calls for 1 1/4 cups. So, now's the time when you guys can do some math. And I'll do that later. Instead, I'm going to add my cooking oil now. So vegetable oil says originally you need half a cup. Since we're making half of the recipe, we're going to use 1/4 of a cup. Hooray for math. So the recipe originally calls for 3 eggs. How are you supposed to split into 1 1/2 eggs? Simple, you don't. You use 2. When I become a professional chef, I'll change that. But for now, we're going to use 2. And I'll put my eggshells in the compost later. Once again, cooking, don't get distracted. And now, we'll move on to our water. Okay, so if you have 5/4 and you simplify that to 1/8, multiply by both, so 10/8, so you will need 5/8. Oh, nice. I hope my math is right, because I didn't feel like getting a piece of paper out. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I don't have a scale, so I can't measure it in ounces like they do in college. And there's my timer saying that the oven is preheated. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whoops. Set that to the side. I'm going to put my water in right now because it's cold water. So it's nice water. Put my oil away. And I'll put my extra egg away because I forgot that I was doing half a recipe. And now we whisk. Let's see. 2 minutes vigorously. I'm going to set the timer just because I can. My dad doesn't believe that you should have to do that, but I do, so. whisking vigorously. And there's one thing that you can do to make sure that you get your cake batter and your egg all mixed evenly, and that is to scrape the sides with the fork after you're done, and we'll probably use the fork, stir it around with butter, maybe 5 to 15 seconds. But with the whisk, I've gotten pretty good with it so far, so I don't need to do that. But for any people who, for some reason, never made a box anything before, you can do that if you choose. Otherwise, you're going to pour it into your pan, and there's just going to be chunks of mix, and you're going to be like, ugh, maybe I don't want to eat this. And some of you might be saying, she's not whisking very vigorously. Shut up, you don't see what's going on in my bowl, it's beautiful. And once you kind of get an even mix, I start to make little Z patterns and circular patterns like I learned to on my video game Cooking Academy. Because yes, that was a very enjoyable game for me as a child. I also learned on a variety of TV shows, including Franklin, you know, the show about the turtle. His grandma used to teach him how to cook. And like a bear show, I think? I don't know. But anyways, most of the things that I've seen, including, I believe, Martha Stewart, actually, when she decided not to use her fancy KitchenAid, they would advise you to make patterns as well. And I'm guessing what you're going for, based on my many, many cakes that I've made before, is a smooth texture, like I have here. Scrape the bottom, check to make sure, okay, it's evenly mixed. And now, I'll spread my pan. That's probably something that most people do when they get out, but sometimes I forget. And it's clear that I have not seen it because you can't see like that sticky shiny stuff. Like you can see the little bubbles. And I know I sprayed too much. And I kind of like, if you ever spray too much, like it's a long dough, you'll take it and you can like move your pan around and so it slides all over where you need it to be. And my dad thinks you shouldn't coat the sides, and I believe that, so, but like brownies you probably need to. Cake is easier because cake doesn't get stuck in the pan as much. Brownies are just messy. And now, of course, we will pour the batter in and remove that from your wheel. And as you can see, my cake looks very soupy. I'm hoping that's how it's supposed to look. It's been a while. My family's big on brownies. Now, I will get this out. This is a spatula. It's very useful. It's got this curved edge. It's very nice. You can scrape it like that. It's even better for like thick batters and things. You could probably use a fork if you wanted to with this, just because it's so soupy. Or a spoon. But I like the whisk better. Not the whisk, the spatula. Let's go. It's doing something. Jill, you can just walk in behind me. I heard you said your name. The other people. Oh! Kitty's fine. We have an outside cat. And right now she's inside. Which is not a good thing usually. But she's right being with me and she's not like peeing on the carpet or anything, so. Come on, kid. Jill, just leave her. I can get her later. Just focus on your task at hand. Come back and get her.
Oh, kid's following me.
Next. Now we're going to look at it and make sure that we're baking it. So usually on the boxes, they'll give you handy dandy instructions for how much time. I believe this is the 9x8, and our oven, it says to cook, let me read you the pan size in case you're making this at home for some unknown reason. So 13 by 9, that's the big pan, 30 to 35 minutes. 2 8-inch rounds, 30 to 35. 2 9x9 rounds, 25 to 30. A bunch, 40 to 45. Cupcakes, says they make 24, that's also a lie. 14 to 19. But, let's see. Third one run fast, I'm just going to put it in for 25. Check. And I'm back. So I forgot that my camera had a time limit on it of 10 minutes. So, I've done my dishes. I've put my cake in the oven. It's baking nicely. I got about 7 minutes left according to my timer. So now I'm going to find my icing recipe that I had. I might have to go find my other computer real quick if I can't find it here. But I should be able to put it on here. And this recipe that I found, I got it off a website and I was reading some of the comments, and the instructions say that you are supposed to cook it on the stove and then you're supposed to use your hand blender to thicken it up. But then everybody that I've read said that it got too hard too quickly and that you're better just pouring it on like a ganache. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And I checked and I made sure I had all the ingredients, which is something you should always do whenever you're making anything handmade, or honestly in a box either. Like anything that you're trying to make, you should probably make sure that you have everything you need first. Otherwise you're going to get halfway through the recipe, you're going to have your milk, your eggs, and some water, and you're going to realize, shoot, I have no chocolate. So what are you going to do? You got raw eggs sitting out. The answer is you're going to have to think fast, or have somebody that is willing to go fast and furious for you to get you some powder. Now back to the task at hand, finding that icing recipe. Let's see. And like, since this is a cooking video, I decided that I wasn't going to play my music, but normally when I cook, I just play whatever's on my Spotify or my iPod. Sometimes if my sister's in the room, she'll play her Tom Petty or whatever, which I don't personally like, but I mean it's okay. I'm kind of focused on the task at hand, so I guess I'm gonna be like all those other people who do stuff on YouTube and talk while they do it. So like, I like punk rock. What do you all like out there? The 5 of you that are probably watching. I was wrong, it wasn't on my Google, so now we're going to try to research exactly what I found before. Okay. So the thing that I am going to use is called the 1-minute chocolate icing. Funny enough, it does not actually take 1 minute. The prep time and cooking time is 15 minutes. Well, not the cooking time. The cooking time is actually 1 minute. But then you gotta find everything else and you gotta put it all together. And that is supposed to take you 15 minutes. And it's called, let's see, 1-minute chocolate icing by Sandy. And she describes it as, this is a boiled fudge-like icing. Now our cake is done. Through the magic of patience instead of TV. And we're gonna let it cool. So now I'm making the frosting. And I already put my butter in. And now it needs half of a cup of cocoa powder. And now an entire cup of sugar. 1/4 of a cup of milk. Extract. And now we gotta bring it to a boil and stir constantly for a minute. Okay, stir constantly.
Yeah, with that sugar milk. That's what's that.
Smells almost like we're making fudge, even though we're not.
It's got some components of starch.
Except for the marshmallow crumbs. Heat off. And I'm going to pour it directly on now because otherwise it just flickers. That's delicious. But yeah, here's our finished product. Through the magic of patience and reading, we got through it. Hooray.